Failure feels like proof that something is wrong with you. You lose money, you make a bad decision, you fall short of your expectations, and immediately your mind says, I'm not good at this. Others are better. Maybe this isn't for me. But here's the truth most people never learn. Failure is not a signal to stop. It's information your brain needs to grow. Today, you'll discover why failure is psychologically necessary, how avoiding it keeps people stuck, and how learning to use failure correctly can completely change your results. From a psychological perspective, failure is not the opposite of success. Avoidance is. The human brain doesn't improve through comfort. It improves through feedback. In this video, you'll learn why the brain needs failure, how fear of failure destroys growth, the difference between useful failure and self-sabotage, and how to mentally reframe failure into progress. Why the brain learns through failure? Your brain is a prediction machine. It constantly makes guesses. If I do this, I'll get that. When reality contradicts the prediction, the brain updates itself. That contradiction is called error feedback. Without failure, no correction happens, no learning occurs, no skill improves. Neuroscience shows that the strongest neural rewiring happens immediately after a mistake. If the mind stays open instead of defensive, failure is the brain's upgrade signal. Why people fear failure? So deeply. Fear of failure isn't logical, it's emotional. Here's why it feels so threatening. 1. Failure feels like identity damage. Your brain confuses, I failed with, I am a failure. 2. Social conditioning. From childhood, mistakes are punished, not analyzed. 3. Loss aversion. Psychologically, loss feels twice as painful as gain feels pleasurable. 4. Ego protection. Failure threatens the story you tell yourself about who you are, so the brain chooses safety over growth. How avoiding failure keeps you poor? Avoiding failure has hidden costs. You play small. You avoid calculated risks. You stick to comfort. You delay action. You repeat safe but limiting patterns. Financially, this shows up as not investing, not starting, not negotiating, not experimenting. The biggest losses often come not from failing, but from never trying. The difference between productive failure and self-sabotage. Not all failure is equal. Productive failure happens in controlled environments, produces clear feedback, leads to adjustment, improves future decisions. Self-sabotaging failure is repeated without reflection, driven by emotion, not strategy, ignored or rationalized, creates the same result again. The key is not failing less, it's failing smarter. How to reframe failure. Psychologically, here's how to extract value from failure. 1. Separate outcome from identity. You didn't fail as a person, you failed at a process. Processes can be improved. 2. Ask better questions. Replace why am I bad at this with what did this outcome teach me? 3. Normalize failure exposure. Set small, intentional challenges. Let failure become familiar, not threatening. 4. Track lessons, not losses. Write down what you learned, not just what you lost. 5. Use failure as calibration. Every failure refines judgment. Better judgment compounds over time. Failure isn't proof of limitation. It's proof of participation. The people who grow the most aren't the ones who avoid losing. They're the ones who learn fastest. If you can change how your mind interprets failure, you change what you're capable of. The question is, will you let failure define you or refine you? If you want more videos on the psychology of money and success, subscribe and continue this journey with me.